business won't happen, the growth doesn't happen, the success doesn't happen only because our relationships is not in that intact, right? So sometimes, people are stuck in past, or stuck in the present, or stuck in the complete situations where they've been messed up things, maybe by their own mistakes, by maybe someone come to their life and teach them big lesson, and things is not in favor. So with this pain, or with this illness, or maybe that healing is not done properly, so they can't do the business properly, or they can't do their 100% efforts properly, right? So something is stopping them, something is pulling them behind. So these all things is just only because when you leave your house, or when you go to your house, when you stay in your house, so the peace is not there. So someone is missing you, or someone you miss, or something which is gone out of your life, which is not helping you to grow further, do further, talk in motivation, or be in that top natural smile, and where you can talk to people and connect with people and perform good, or something, something is not good. So you know that very well. So many people, they are not successful in life only because their personal life is completely puzzled, right? So relationship values are the principles and standards you build your life on, right? So, like kindness, honesty, and communication. Most of the time, the relationship is completely broken only because the communication is completely stopped. Once the communication is completely stopped, eye to eye contact is completely stopped, then the relationship can't be good, right? So you don't need to have all the same beliefs to have a solid relationship, but you can do need to share values, and that's very important. That is what we are talking about, the values in relationship, right? It could be your partnership, your business, your relationship in the business with your team members, right? Your colleagues, your co-founder. It could be anything, your clients. Relationship is everywhere, right? So if you discover the major differences in values, it's important to address them honestly. Sometimes that means making tough decisions about the future of the relationships is very essential, right? Where you have considered it or not, everything we do or don't do is guided by our personal and communal values in relationships direct way we do what we do in community and partnership with other people, right? They are the principles that guide our thoughts, actions, and visions for our lives, right? Some examples of values in relationships include dignity, honesty, kindness, and so on. See, contrary to what you might think, you don't need to share every belief to have a great relationship. Yes, but you do need to share values. When it comes to a connecting with other people, values determine who you have a good shot of building a life, friendship, or business with. See, relationship is that important. A human connection. We've been talking about human connection and emotional intelligence and all this stuff. So without having a conversation, you can communicate still, right? Without a verbal conversation, you can still communicate. That is emotional intelligence. We took so many sessions on that. But when it comes to a values, a relationship values, what are they? So this is what we're going to talk about in detail, okay? And we get to know ourselves, am I compatible with a person, or am I compatible with my partner, am I compatible with my team members, my clients, to have this relationship. The journey should begin, the journey should keep on going further and further, right? So is it going on good? Is it happening in my favor? So we need to think about it, right? As I said all these things so far. Okay, values are the principles and standards you build your life on, the bedrock. Values determine how you are going to act or move through the world. Your values in relationships create anchor points that keep you aligned with each other and set the tone for how you live life in your community with your people. Values determine how you approach tricky situations, the way you and your purpose, or maybe the way you lead your life with your spouse, or it could be your friends, your business partners, your team members, how you interact with each other, and your overall approach to life. Values makes you up, senseless, sometimes, you go speechless, because when you have that values, you get things, something valued to you. How you value things, the same thing, it will be returned back to you with a good value which it gives you. You go speechless because that is how you've been treated, the way you treat back. What's right and wrong? We don't understand how we behave or how we react. So when we get something in return, it is coming only because how you behaved, how you spoke, how you hit the pawn. So the rebound is the same shot on you. But when it comes back to you, so you're taking it very personally, right? So you should understand how you behave, what kind of values you have. So we are going to talk about all these values. So lots of values we're going to talk about in relationship, which is going to be very essential. So before I start more in deep inside, talking about the values, so let me talk about a couple of things, sharing values also creates safety and connections in the relationship. Do you believe that or not? Okay, so that creating safety, the secure feeling is very important or not. If you're feeling insecure with someone, you've been with someone for the lunch or the dinner and you're feeling insecure, that moment when you're feeling insecure and you're still going for the lunch and dinner, how do you feel? That is really difficult, right? Now you're going with a client and you feel insecure, the way they behave, the way they treat you, the way they talk to you, so still you move. So what is going to happen? That's going to be very toxic. Or maybe, you're doing a business meeting with the people who all are, with negative mindset, and you go and talk with them, so you get only the firing, everybody holding the machine guns and shooting at you the bullets, right? So you need to understand how secure feeling you get with the connections what you are in. That should create this, the sharing values also creates the safety, security, connections in your relationship. That's what I'm talking about. This is what helps marriages, friendships, the companies to become bonds. See, the open business networking is very strong foundation as of now, only because of the relationship what we carry, treating each other, supporting each others, valuing them, and we've been promoting. 2 days back, the person who comes and shares his portfolio, and today he stays active with us, and we just automatically the name comes out of, we just support them, we just promote them. Why? Because we are trying to build that values. If someone is not giving you that value for your contribution, then what is the thing is happening there? Nothing. So when you put little bit of contribution in open business networking also, lots of values are created, people are giving connection, people are connecting. And myself, whenever I see anybody who are active, I just automatically take their name and I just promote them. I just sit with someone, I'm talking about it, all of a sudden I'll start talking about you. So this is the values. If these values are not there, so the community can't grow, the relationship can't grow, right? We need to understand that. So that is what I'm talking about, the values determine how you approach tricky situations, right? So we are going to talk about, even if your beliefs are little different, okay, part of sharing values means respecting and honoring each other's point of view, right? With curiosities, not judgment, okay? Not assumptions. So I'm going to talk about the examples of values in relationships now. So sometime, like, when you feel something good or something, like, you can write down, you can record, and this is a recorded session. The replays are always on. So whenever, like, you find something, these sessions are connected with some other sessions, so you can definitely scroll down on Sundays, and you can see whichever the topics you like. You can just go through it, or if you like to share it with your loved ones, you can just share it. So we can also find some of couple of people, they come in and they share their values also in later part of this session, right? So very first thing, let me talk about the value. Okay, I'll be talking a couple of values in relationships. So one of the very first value is, like, kindness. Kindness is a posture of being friendly and like, considerate, like, of your partner. The friendly, like, it's going to be very friendly with your partner. Okay, sometimes it means doing the hard thing that's right for the greater good of the relationship. The kindness is that important, right? So have you seen that being kindness? People, they sometimes, like, very kindfully they talk, right? And you feel so humbled. You say, like, thank you so much for being showing kindness, being so kind. We talk about it. So this kindness, that is so important. Sometimes it means doing the hard things right. Sometimes it looks like an act of appreciation of services what you provide. You know my problem, and you've been providing the services, and the way you took my problems and you fix it exactly the way it has to be fixed, and you did more in return. So that's a kindness what you show in regards to giving an appreciation for the services when you've been served in a proper way. So I'll have that kindness to you. Thank you so much. You just sorted out my problems, my issues. Wow, you gave me this product, and this product really helped me out at the right time. When I said you the problem, you perfectly understood the problem, and you gave the right product to me, and it also taught me how to use this product. That's the kindness, right? That's an act of appreciation service is what you gave. Like filling up your wife's car with gas, or listening when your friends need someone to talk to, and you're helping them to connect back. That's a kindness. Now, filling up gas on your wife's car, wow, wonderful, right? You feel good. So, when your wife is taking out the car and she doesn't see, like, whether the fuel is there or not there, and she sees all of a sudden the fuel is full tank. Wow, my hubby just, like, fill the tank. And I don't never want to think about, like, my wife always forgets to go to the petrol bunk line. She just take the car, she doesn't even see the needle, and all of a sudden, like, the fuel is full for, like, it's gone and everything, and I get a call saying that, the fuel tank is gone, like, the petrol bank is little more further. What to do? So I don't want that kind of situation to go or come to my loved ones. So it's very simple thing. It's my kindness which I need to show. Make sure, like, I'll just fill the fuel. And that moment when she says, like, I'm not even going to the petrol bank, and every time, like, you see, the fuel tank is full, the need is always up. So who is doing that? My hubby is doing it. Wow, that's wonderful. That's beautiful. That's the kindness, the actions what you put in relationships, and how it felt to others. That's the magic moment where you build your relationships. You're not talking, you're not doing anything, but you did something which is showing that kindness. You're seeing your daughter or your son going to school. Do you forget that small tiffin box which is not kept inside? You make sure, like, the tiffin box is inside. You make sure the dish what you prepared, a mother, a father, whoever, you make sure that has been taken. The kid is going to school but forgets the tiffin box. But you make sure, like, where is the tiffin box? Is it in the bag? Okay, did you take it? Yeah, if you're not taken, it's still laying down. Let me take that. Let me make sure you'll take and go. So this is the attention what you give. That's the kindness. The day when it's been missed, they understand, oh, something is missing in my life. How come the tiffin box is missed? And mom did not give me my tiffin box. But All of a sudden you see the mom is walking to the school and giving the tiffin box again. Hey boy, you've just forgot the tiffin box. So this is a kindness, and you still bring so much of wide smile on you. How much attention they have on my life. So this is a kindness. Children might not get into the detail, but it has been felt. But adults like us, it has been felt very seriously. If you've not been experiencing that, that means that opposite relation, the person is not doing anything. But before that, are you doing this? That's important. So that is what we're talking about, right? This kindness is that important in friendship. In friendship, like when you listen to your friends, small, tiny requests. My other person, my friend is not talking to me. So when the friend is not talking to me, so you just go to the mutual friend and request them. Hey, how is he doing? What is he doing? You want to know all the rumors. You want to know what is happening in their life. And you get to know everything, and you are interested. And other person also will get to know from the same mutual friend that you've been asking about the person. How is he doing? What is he doing? Is he doing well? See, that is giving more interest. That mutual friend has been created that kind of bonding with you both, that you both are worried about each other. So again, you people connect. So this is what the friendship will do. The kindness has been shown everywhere. Everywhere the kindness has been shown. So are you showing that kindness? It means showing showing up, when the person you love needs you most. It also often, means telling the truth in a honest, loving way, especially when it's hard to say or hear. So let me talk about the another value, that is accountability. So accountability means someone takes responsibility for their behavior and follows through on their commitments. You understand this? They do their work. Yeah, definitely yes. When you have done some mistake or something wrong, you take that accountability. You take that responsibility for the behavior, what you've been felt, how you acted. So you take that accountability. Yes, I did this. Accept it. In relationships, okay, it's very important. Do they're really working the deep their word, okay, the deep their word, or maybe the keep their word, or and own up the mistakes. Yes, I did this mistake. Let me consider that I really responsible for this behavior. In relationship, accountability means not casting blame. No, no, you're not blaming anybody. You're not blaming yourself also, but you take the responsibility, you take the accountability. Yes, I am, I'm accepting this. What I did, it's wrong, it's a mistake. But taking radical ownership, of your role in a conflict, missed goal, or relationship messed up. Accountability is also about holding up mirror and choosing the reality about current circumstances or the situations. So when you did the mistake, and for the mistake what you've done, you can't blame someone. We have seen couple of videos, right? They do the mistake and they go and blame. We have seen that. That is okay, for taking it silly. Sometime, the wife does some mistakes and you still, wife comes and shouts at you. That's okay. That's still allowed. But seriously taking it and considering it and blaming every time, that is not good. Sometimes you do something wrong and you blame your wife. That is something, where the wife reacts back again for the past what you did, and they talk about the same situation, and then the arguments happens. So let us accept that accountability. Okay, you did mistake, I did mistake. I know I did something wrong, you did something wrong. Now let us treat something, each other, by treating each other for the mistakes what we did. Come to this kind of conclusions. That's moves further, leaving the past and get into the presence and see what next. See, happiness is the ultimate goal. So are you working on that ultimate goal or not? Finally, when you're making all these things, small, small, silly things, making it more complicated, that happiness of ultimate goal is always very far, and you're not reaching there. And your path of journey is always with sorrows, it's always with breakups. Your client is not happy because you're not treating them good. Why is that your client is not happy? Only because of, like, you're not treating good, you're not supporting them, helping them, not concerned about talking about the situations and problems. So this is what, like, when you're not being treated for the payment what I've done or the services what I'm expecting, and you don't meet that expectation, that is when the client is not happy. So your business partner is not happy because the business is not going good, even though I'm putting all the efforts, but you're not putting any efforts. You just take your car on time and go home. You just come, like, a bit late to the office, but still I want to do all the work. But what are you doing? So when you know that your partner is doing all the works, what needs to be done, are you doing it or not? So this accountability, like, the ownership, the accountability is so important. You're doing your work, you're doing your job or not. In the relationship also is the same thing. You understand, I'm giving all these examples because there you're very strict and you're expecting your partners to do your job or their job in proper way, right? And you've been questioning for the things what you paid. You're paying salary for your employees for not doing work, and how do you feel? You definitely question. You're accountable. You've been paid for what you've been supposed to do. The same way in a relationship, like, you need to be treated and you need to treat others. You can't put more salt for the lunch to treat them bad or to make them feel bad. No, you don't need to do that. That is still more making the things worst. So you do something more special dish which has never been done, which they like. And now you see how things is going to be. So something like, do what you are supposed to do, and that is accountability. And do we have that values? That accountability. That's very important. Now, let me talk about the third point, that is called, like, honesty. See, now honesty means telling the truth. Period. That's it. Over. See, honesty is that important. Like, when you do something which is not been said to me or not been knowing to me, and you do that and you hide that, and when I get to know, that other person will definitely feel bad. Like, you didn't even tell me and you did this. See, this conversation is not at all good. So be honest on telling the truth. Period. Right? It's about not cutting corners, lying, omitting, or cheating. Honesty is about sharing light in the darkness. You understand? Even when it's painful or difficult situation, it's about submission, vulnerability, right? And putting the relationships above your ego or reputation. And make no mistake, you can weaponize truth like a grenade. You look awful in that dress. Do you understand what I'm saying? How do you look like? You look like, you're wearing all that like, that kind of t-shirt with all kind of clips in it, and you putting all the granites on you, and you look like, like an army soldier with all the granites on you, like, with weapons, knives, everything has been there. With a hand, like, you're holding a AK-47. And now, why you looking like that, and why you dressing up all these granites on you? Why? Because you need to be ready to argue, that not accepting the facts, the things what you've done. So every time the question comes, to check the honesty of you, like, you did not do this, or you did this, you did not tell me this, and you don't accept that. You don't say that, yes, I did this mistake, I did do like, talking wrong, or maybe, like, hiding things, I did not say the truth, I did not be honest. You don't say this. You just take out the granite throughout them. This is what we are gonna do. See, sometimes we become anger for not commit ourselves guilty. The person, when he feels guilty, only then he accepts it. Yes, I did mistake, I am guilty. If you are guilty, then you'll not do that again. So let us get into that mode and fix ourselves, right? You might have seen Only Raghavendra said, feeling guilty is good. See, feeling guilty is acceptance. You're gone to that guilty mode. That means you accepted. You accepted for the mistakes what you've done, and you are surrendered. You're ready, to take the punishment or to go through that situation of pain and to try to forgive yourself. If you want to forgive yourself, first you need to feel guilty, right? So only then you'll never do that mistake. The same thing here when it comes to honesty. You should not look like having all the granite on you and to throw for all the questions, feeling anger. So people, they go anger only when that situation, husband and wife, they both are sitting together. So now one question has been raised for the mistakes what you done. Now you don't have to accept it. Now that is when the argument starts. That is when you become very irritated and you become very anger mode. The human behavior, the human psychology is like that. When you become anger, that means the person doesn't ask you questions. When you become anger and you defense them, not to say anything, stop talking, that all these things what you talk, it's only because you don't want to talk about it for the mistakes what you done, where it makes you to feel guilty. And we do that, throwing things at other person with anger to becoming a fury. So you think by becoming a fury people they run away, you think that is a respect what they show. No, people are scared, people are running away, and this is not good. These all things will happen only because that honesty has been shaken. Your ego classes will start working. So make no mistakes. If you do mistakes, fix it immediately. Consider that yes, I did this mistake. Now, the same way, these all are values what I'm talking about. And the same way, the fourth value will come to financial fidelity. See, financial fidelity is that important. Financial fidelity is a commitment to a person or belief about money. It's about never hiding purchases, being truthful about debts and spending habits, and sharing the spendings and savings accounts together. See, this is all very crucial and very important. For example, if you and your spouse agree to never borrow money and then one of you opens the secret line of credit, all of a sudden, I have taken 10 lakh rupees credit. Now that is a news for the husband. Why? Why did you do this? Things will definitely come out. The conversation goes very bad. Or husband took some credit of 10 lakh 20 lakhs and people are coming to the house, and how do you feel? How does the spouse feel? Arey, forget all these things, let us take it very simple. Now your wife needs the lipstick, she needs the cosmetics, she needs everything. She needs the all the basic necessity for our life. Now there is no money kept at home, and you don't even take out the penny and give it to her, and she is the housewife. How does this feel? Just imagine. She needs the sanitary pad. She's checking out all the house and she gets to know, hey man, what am I doing? I don't have a little bit of money for myself, for my care. My friend is coming home. I just want to take a lipstick and I see my lipstick is not there. I asked my hubby, to give me, some money for the pocket money. I need to order something and that money is not been given to me. Am I not treated here good? Now you just imagine how it's been thought the process is coming. The financial fidelity is that important. Am I not treated here? What am I doing? Am I a home worker? That's it. That is why I've been brought. See, things will come just like that into the mind. And once this things comes, that goes to become a concrete. That's become a concrete, and that thought will go in such a way where you've been treated like completely a different person, not like a husband or not like a wife. This is what is going to happen. So we don't take this very seriously. This is values. And do we have these values? We need to understand this. When it comes to a money matter, when it comes to financial matter, both should understand. Borrow money each other, support each other. The secret lines you should not maintain, like, you took money, you tell them, like, I took this money for emergency for 10,000 rupees, I took it with my friend, and I need to return it back. So let me return it back. And why did you take this money? For you. For you to bring that lipstick, for you to bring that, like, that gagra, what you wanted. And because that was your marriage, that was your marriage anniversary. So that was our wedding anniversary. I need to get it. That's okay. That's fine. Good. Now, things being said, it's good. But let me tell you, financial fidelity, if you agree to work together to save that 20,000 rupees a month for your kids' international school. So when you work together, that's financial fidelity, what it comes. If you're working on money goals, then you need to work together. Sometimes you don't have that skill. Go and find some person, like, where they can help you out on risk management, financial security. Talk to a business coach, they can help you out, right? So you do this, something you do, so where you both are on the same pace to make your financial security more strong, because that financial security is going to keep you happy. It keeps you happy because, see, I've seen people, like, money is not everything, money is not that important, everything they say, but the fact is money is everything. That's the real fact. Without money you can't make your kid to go to the international school. Without money you can't do, like, getting a laptop for your kid. Without money you can't do anything. You're powerless. Money is just a power, that's it, over, period. And that power, you have it or not, that is the point. Now your wife has that power. Have you given that power? You give that power when she's a homemade, when she's a homework, when she's only taking care of your family, you're washing your clothes, taking care of the house, doing all the vessel, and you're doing all the cookings and all this stuff for the family, for the children's. Give that power, give that money, give that power, let her be in that power. So this financial fidelity is that important in relationship. You don't keep your bank balance intact. Suddenly something happens in family and you can't even provide that security, you can't provide that help to come out of the situation. That will really spoil the relationship. It's a fact, it's a truth. Many relationships are broken up completely only because the financial security is not that good. Nobody is working. These all are truth, these all are facts. Sometimes this value might not be considered for the financial fidelity, but very most of the families is important. There are people, like, without any finance, without any money, they still eat that one chapati and eat whatever is left out, and they're still happy because their value is beyond the money. That's the beauty. But most of the people, when it comes to money, they need the luxury, they need the life, they need everything. They need the internet bills to be paid. If the internet bill is not there, if it's not paid, the situation is completely different at home. I've seen people coming to me and taking a consultation and fighting for each other. And what is the reason? If I say they have not paid the bill of the internet and the internet is down and they can't see the TV channels, and that silly thing brought it to a big fight in the home. Big high profile people. Just imagine. It's a very simple thing. You can just have that power and you can just do that. What's the big deal in that? So let us talk about the further values, like, faith and spirituality. See, when it comes to faith and spirituality, like, faith is about learning on that, trusting in things even when you can't see them. You can't see them, you can't feel them, right? But you can still faith, that faith about learning, like, the trusting things. It is there, like, but you can't see them. It's about trusting in the power of something bigger than yourself. Even when it doesn't make sense, faith can be put in the God, right? As we understand, like, through organized religions, whatever the culture you might be, whatever the religion you might be, okay. So other spiritual decorating, like, or if it could be a church, or it could be a temple, it could be masjid, or it could be gurudwara, it could be anything. On that weekdays or on that Sundays, you just go together, whatever you do. Okay, that's above up left to you. Like, the faith can be pursuit of goodness and truth. See, the spiritual journey is that important because that spiritual journey is gonna make you purifying the behavior, the thought, the way you feel. That faith and spiritual journey is important in relationship because when you think about something wrong, it immediately, stops you do that. When the thought also doesn't come to you, that the thought, bad thought to do something bad, it doesn't even come to your mind. Why? Because you are in that faith and spirituality, that journey. This spirituality, see, you might be a Muslim, or you might be Hindu, you might be Christian, you might be anything in this world. But when you are into spiritual journey, you'll never commit doing mistakes. Period. Simple. So I want everybody to have that faith and spirituality. That values are very important. These are the values. So when you have that spirituality journey, I'm telling you, spiritual journey, you treat your partner in a good way where you don't do any mistake or you don't do anything wrong or you don't talk anything bad. Your tongue is in control. You don't commit doing mistake. But that spirituality, that spiritual journey, when you do only for the one day, going to temple and come, that moment for a couple of hours, you will be a human. After that, you'll become a evil. So that's why, when always you are in a spiritual journey, in that faith, I'm telling you, you never commit doing wrong. Can you say God's name and do something wrong to people? Can you do that? No, right? That's why the spiritual journey is so powerful. You can't say Vande Mataram and do something bad to the nation, right? It's a common sense. That common sense that just we are applying in the values of the relationship. How you treat the nation, how you treat your mother, the same way you treat others. Simple. So this faith and the spiritual journey is that important value for the relationship where you don't commit doing mistakes. If your partner aren't on the same page with your faith perspectives, that could make raising kids difficult, or the kid has been uncultured manner they've been growing. You, what you do and what your partner doing, with that your kid is learning the culture, sampradaya, what we call it sampradaya, right? That sampradaya, that culture has been built in your son or a daughter, the way you both are behaving there. You eat pizza burgers, they want only pizza burger, that's their culture. You fold your legs and sit down and eat, they also do the same thing. You use the spoon and eat, they also use the spoon and eat. You talk bad, they talk bad with their friends, they behave very bad with their friends, and that is how they will grow. And when they've grown up, you can't take any blaming on them saying that you did this, you did that. No, you can't do that because that is how you made them to grow. And now when they behave like that, behaving wrong, rude, talking something bad, and you made them to do that, it took time for that. The same thing, your relationship, if it's not in a spiritual journey, in a faith, business, everything, business also, I've been talking about the spiritual coach is very important for the business entrepreneur. Why? Because you don't commit anything wrong. Your money, what it comes to you, the money what flows to you, the money what you're attracting, it has to be a good karma money, not a bad karma money. When you take all this bad karma money, cheating someone, taking that money, feeding your family, it affects everywhere. So why I'm telling about this faith and spirituality, because that value what you add to your life, it's that important for your relationships. Now let us talk about the health and wellness. You might be thinking, why did health and wellness came here? See, this is also one of the major essential value. See, when I say value, it automatically comes as a value itself from the mouth. Okay, health and wellness also is a value in relationships. It's a values. Yeah, it's a point. For some folks, wellness comes from the Japan, from the China, from other countries. No, it comes from the green juice, the green tea, right? The wellness comes from everywhere, from the essential oil also, people they say. See, wellness and health is your responsibility. If being an husband, I have a beautiful wife, and I just go out every time and I just go and smoke cigarettes. If I do that, okay, I am doing something, which is something bad, and next day or next moment or next year, or maybe next 5 years, I feel ill, and I am getting to completely obesity, or maybe my lungs is completely gone, destroyed, my organs are gone, my heart is not pumping good, or my kidneys are getting failure, my blood is completely rotten, or something, some cancer, some issues, something has happened. Now the way you've been there, and you are not dying, you're still alive, and the expenses starts for the health. You go to hospitals, you spend for the MRIs, you spend for the ICUs, you get operated, your liver has been cut and again replaced with some other thing, lot of expenses, and you come home and you are bed rest, and your wife has to come and treat you, morning breakfast, brushing your teeth, cleaning your body, getting you a hot bath, everything they have to do. Now how does this relationship go? Now, where, what are you done? What have you done? Your children needs to come and bring you that bowl to wash your hands. You're forcefully making someone to do what they don't want to do. And they're forced to do that because you're a father. My father. I want to give him a bowl to wash his hand. Now, why is he like that? You made that thing to happen. You're not responsible for your health. Your health is your responsibility. You don't take care of your health properly, you're becoming a burden on your children's. You're becoming a burden on your wife. Your wife's supposed to enjoy her life. She's supposed to be happy. Marrying you, you being a drunkard person, uncontrollably, not even responsibly drinking, drink alcohol, no problem, drink it. Okay, I'm from an army background. Okay, my family, every month we get from CSD canteen lot of bottles by bottles. We gift it to people, or we will sell it to people. We do whatever. Okay, but when the drinks are coming and it's your culture to drink, you drink it, but drink it in responsibility. No, responsibly, drink it. But drinking too much, we're unconsciously drinking. So finally, your organs are gone. You're on a bed rest. Now you completely depending on your wife. Now your wife has to leave everything, her enjoyment, her life, and everything, and she has to take care of you. It's vice versa. Just imagine your growing children is into drug addict and is on the bed patient, and your father and mother, after even like my son is 25, 30, and father and mother has to take care of a son. How it is, the father and mother, they're getting old, and they expect, my son or my daughter to grow up big and be in a well settled, positions, being a doctor or officer or something like that, and they be into their own path of their life. But powerless mother or a powerless father, they feel one day my son is going to take care of me. That's a human nature. Me and you might think I'm don't depending on my son and my daughter, let them be in their own life, let them build their life own, I just get separated, that's not a problem. But we might think, but someday, when you're not responsible about your health and wellness, I'm telling you, you spoil your health, you completely become a burden of your son, you completely become a burden of your wife. How bad it is. You understand this is a value or not? When two people in relationship don't value health in the same way, one person might resent the other because they heading towards the different features, where they want fun, they want that, they want alcohol, they want cigarettes, they want all the bad qualities, bad practice of sleeping late night, okay, not eating food at breakfast, ulcer. Ulcer came, where doctor says your stomach needs to be removed. Your carelessness of riding bike or car, carelessly drunkard, and drink and drive, and you've met with an accident, your leg is removed. What kind of situations you people are going through? You're not responsible. You have to understand this. Your son doing committing mistake, and you have to take care of your son entire life. We have seen so many things right now. When you're missing in the family, they have a lot of pain to go through. They have something like, to face the situations which they never faced. They never knew about it. This is something very important in relationship. When you take care of your health, the opposite person also take care of his health, each other, like, wellness family. So what qualities do your family or your relationship have? What values you carry? So these are the values. Now it makes sense, right? Wealth, health, and wellness. How important it is to have that value in our personal journey, right? Now, now let me talk about the another value that is called as hospitality. Hospitality is a core value in the household things, or maybe like, everyone is welcome at the house, or maybe for the dinner, for the lunch. We welcome people into our life, right? Sometimes we care for them. Well, they are here at home, like, they came in. We give what we can, when we can, to serve others, to help them to feel at home. If hospitality isn't shared value for you or your partner, how will you agree how to host and care for your in-laws, your friends, your relations who comes to home? See, this is again very important. Like, when you treat your wife's friend, you provide that hospitality for your wife's friend. You've been valued. You've been given more special values, and that's my hubby. And you've been just spoke with my hubby. Like, this is what my hubby is. You saw how he speaks. That proudness feels there. The same way, when hubby brings his father mother after 5 years, they're coming from abroad, or they're coming from the village to home, and all you do is like, treat them, give them hospitality. They're your mother and father of your husband, and you treat them like your father and mother came home, and you treat them the way you treat your father and mother. Give them, make them comfort. Do sevas, like, what you're supposed to do. And they're not leaving there, they're going there. No, you know very well, they go there. They don't leave. This is a era what we have. No, now we don't have any mother and father supposed to live together once you got married. And that is that is the culture what we have now. So we have seen people like, mother, father, they still be with them, and they're still happy. It all depends, like, how you take it. But hospitality, you provide people when they come as a guest to your life, in your house, for the food or whatever. Do something good for them. You treat them as if, like, it's a festival for you. This is very important. And when you treat the other person great way, your relationship is going to become more strong, because they love you. Your spouse, the spouse, each other, they love each other because the way we've been treating others, and they so be happy. They've been giving so much of blessings, so they're so happy about we both. So when they feel happy about my wife, they're happy about my husband, and they're happy about my children's behavior, the way they talk and the way they've been responding. And this makes happy family, and that happiness will make the relationship more strong. The way the guest behaves, the guest treated, the guest they said about you and me, that makes the relationship more strong. So how it comes? It only comes because of the hospitality. This is the value. When it might not be a home, it might be outside somewhere, you meet your friends together, or you go for a picnic, you go for the trip with your friends or your relations of anybody. How you both treat each other, how you both be together, how you make other people to feel comfortable. Not fighting in front of children's, not fighting with front of other people in the roadside people fighting. I've seen well educated people, couples fighting each other. My goodness, what they are doing, what they're trying to prove. Everybody are seeing them like a Jurassic Park. Aage aage ko. Wow. On road, Jurassic Parks, two Jurassic Parks are fighting. And everybody is saying, peeking out of the bus, peeking out of the window and saying, have you seen any, people fighting like that in the roadsides, in the traffic signals? See, this is hospitality. Like, that hospitality, how you treat each other, that gives values. And see, values again came automatically. That's the values. So in relationship, these values are very important. Now, let me go further. Okay. So generosity, and that is another value. Some people believe generosity is a giving a man a fish. Right? Others believe generosity means teaching a man a fish, how to catch a fish. Right? That is what people they think generosity. Like no matter how you believe generosity is best expressed. The value of generosity means that giving to others is a core part of your life. The generous, a generous person, how thank you for the generosity. We say that, right? How generous person is always looking out for others. A person who isn't generous is always looking out for themselves. In relationships, your views on generosity can affect your decisions to donate or, like, spend money on gifts, pay for colleges for your son, or even spend time on important causes. So you show your kids or your wife that we are adding values by helping someone. Nice gesture of supporting other family when they don't have something to buy it, you give them. And this has been known to your son, your daughter, your mother, or your, your wife, or your wife is doing something good for someone, and you have been noticed about that, you've been helping someone with this kind of, with this kind of weather in winter, you giving some, blankets to someone. So this is a nice gesture, this is a nice generosity. So these things are happening or not happening in your family, or you both being as a husband and wife, or you being as a business partner, have you done something? See, open business networking proudly says, we planted more than 500 trees, and all the credit goes to every single business entrepreneur, the OBN leaders. You pay money, with that money, we have been planted more than 500 plus trees in a gram panchayat, in a lot of schools, in government officials places, we planted trees. The trees are growing very healthy, 500 plus trees, and it's still numbers are going on. We are doing it. We've been helping people who are blind schools, we are helping. And whose money? That is OBN leaders money, and all the credit goes to you guys. So why we do this? This is the generosity, this is the nice gesture of support what we give. This makes the community strong because everybody loves it, everybody likes it. Why do we do this? To build that relationship, to add the values. So are you adding these values within your family, within your relationship? One small things what you do, and that adds lot of values for entire life. See why I'm talking about all these things, values, it's already there in your life, but you just leave that there itself, that values have been removed, and it is coming to a different kind of situation, only because you not been treated well, or you did not treat well, but you forget that you did not treat well. You only think about how you've been treated. That's a human nature. That's a human nature, my friends. So that generosity is very important, that nice gesture of life is very important, how you treat people, right? Now, respect is, that is also a very important value. Respect means honoring each other's boundaries. In relationships, especially, I'm telling you, the boundaries are very important. I have my boundaries, so stay out of it. That's respect. You have to give. Don't fight. You have boundaries. My goodness, let me break that barricade. You do that, I'm telling you, you spoil your relationship completely. I'm telling you. Your husband is very happy about playing hockey. Let him go and fun. Let him have that fun. Your husband or your wife is right, your wife is very keen on talking with the neighbors. Are let her do, man, that's fine. She wants to talk, she wants to talk about something very important, let her do it. You can't do it anything, but your wife is very important, using the lipstick, let her do. Respect her for what she is. Your wife is very keen on dressing up, that modern style dress, and she wants to go to the party meeting the close friend, and she wants to be a superstar. Arey, let her do. Allow her to do that curly hairs. Allow her what she wants to do it. That's our life. And everybody has boundaries, and don't touch that boundaries, leave them. That's the respect what you show in relationship. When you touch this, hey, why did you dress like this? Hey, why did you use that color lipstick? Why did you put so dark lipstick? Did you curly your hair? Did you cut your hair? Did you buy this dress so deep? My goodness, what is this? See, this kind of things, never do that. That's not, that is completely disrespect. You're eating this food. My goodness, don't eat that. She's not eating poison. She likes to eat that. Let her eat, yeah. You want something, you do it what you want. You have your boundaries. So set the boundaries. See, these boundaries are that important. Everybody have their boundaries. So respect is honoring someone else's desire for how they wish to be loved. This is the art of living life happily. Okay, respect may look like giving someone space during a difficult time. Sometimes you need to give a space. See, I told you once, most of the time I've told, like, you have a cup of love of 1 liter, the opposite person has a cup of love of 200 ml. Now you the 200 ml is empty, the cup of love is empty of your spouse, and you have 1,000 liter, okay, of cup of love, and you are gonna pour that love to the 200 ml, the opposite person who has a cup of love, you're pouring it. Now when you pour, you have to pour only the 200 ml or 100 ml. You have 1,000 liter of cup of love, and you can't keep pouring on the 200 ml cup of love. You can't keep pouring. When you pour too much, they say, hey, step out. What are you doing? You're making all my clothes dirty. Too much of love, it's bad. When they don't have a capacity of taking too much of love from you, stop it. Give them space. Too much of care, too much of care, too very badly, like, you take too much of care, and that too much of care, it makes insecurity, it makes uncomfortable. So they have a capacity of taking only 200 ml of cup of love, and you have 1,000 capacity of giving love. So give them only 200 ml. That's their capacity. So this is the boundaries. Set the boundaries. Don't overdo it. Overdoing it is disrespect. Respect each other. Their boundaries, what they have. Or respect might look like, showing up of them even when it's uncomfortable. It's about loving others for who they are and not for what they can do for you. Simple. Don't make someone uncomfortable by talking about things which they don't like. Understand their boundaries and respect that boundaries, but not secrets. Right? That's okay. That's okay. Secrets also will be there sometime. That's fine. But it's up to you, like, how you maintain secrets. Okay. But relationship, when it comes to values, are very important. And respect is one of the major value what you give for each other. So let us talk about the next value, that is patience. My husband has lots of patience. Now you're so loved. Wow. Sounds great, right? When your husband doesn't have that patience, we have seen a lot of people. I've seen many people, like, the husband doesn't have that patience. Every time he calls with a rude voice. And men are like that, man. It's okay. They sound very rough and tough. Sometimes it is like that, but not all the men. But some people, they treat wife very rudely and they love it. That's okay. That's different. But patience, if that is not there, where is my chapatis? Where is my chapatis? The plate is flying and coming to you. This is not good, right? Patience in life is important when it comes to relationship. You can't make the kid to grow directly suddenly, like, for 20 years. No, it takes time. It needs time, right? So the same way, like, you to build that values, it takes time. It needs practice. It needs some efforts. You to start your day early morning every day, it takes practice. You to go to bed on time, not to sleep late night, it is very difficult. It takes time. It needs practice, right? So patience is very important. Patience is about being mindful at all times. It's about experiencing something and pushing before reacting. You don't react immediately. So have patience. What they want to talk, let them talk. When someone is talking to you or your wife is talking to you, listen. Arey, listen. That's it. Listen. First listen and acknowledge that you are listening. It's vice versa. Both each other should give that time to talk for them. Listen to them. Don't interrupt. Listen. See what they want to say. Sometimes just listen to your wife. I'm telling you, they'll be very happy. Just listen. They want you to listen. So listen and acknowledge what they've been saying. See, this is the time what you give to them, and this is also respect. But that patience is very important. What they're trying to say, listen. Don't have that. Don't jump around. Don't interrupt them in between and talk something else, and you make them feel bad, and you make them feel guilty for, as if they did mistake. They are saying something they did mistake, but they're giving explanation and they're talking about it. Listen, have patience. Patience in relationship means dealing with troubles or inconveniences without throwing a tantrum. You don't let your temper get the best of you. If you don't get your way, understand, you walk through the difficult situations with grace, even when the pressure of the weight will feels exaggerating. Patience is about considering the bigger picture of the relationship before your individual wants or timelines. Patience is very that important. If you lose the patience, I'm telling you, relationships will definitely spoil. In your business entrepreneurial journey, if you don't have the patience to upskill your team, or to let your business partner to upskill, in the option plan, in everything, where he stands, and you know what is the lacking skills and everything, and you have patience to make him learn, let him learn, give him time. So this patience is important to build the relationship. Now you last yesterday you told him the feedback, now he's struggling, and tomorrow you come and, hey, what you doing again, same mistake. You shout at him, you throw the weapons on him. Now, how he feels? Are yesterday itself you gave me the feedback. Let me work on it, man. Let me upskill myself. Let me scale up. You brought a trainer, right? Let me learn. So have patience. That egg to hatch, it needs patience. You can't poke that egg. So that is how it is. For the growth, for the relationship, I'm telling you, patience is that important. You can't force your wife to change all of a sudden. Have that patience to change things, to change, or husband to change. Husband want to quit smoking, and you're very happy about it, and you know that husband will quit, is trying to quit, so he's reduced the cigarettes from 10 to 5. Be happy, have patience, he's working on it. All of a sudden he can't quit, it is again dangerous for him. So let things go on. Your father quitting smoking at the age of 60, and you feel happy, for that you put lots of effort to change that. How much support you give, and alternatively, that is also important. Okay, now the next value is intimacy. See, when you value intimacy in relationships, closeness and understanding of each other are core pillars of your connections. Intimacy doesn't just mean physical attraction. No, people, they take it very wrongly. Hey, you're talking intimacy, you're talking something wrong. No, although that's important too, that is also important. But knowledge of each other that no one else knows, and you have to have that knowledge of the way you want the intimacy with respect. That is also respect. You feel the values, you acknowledge, what is being supposed to be given each other. You think about it. That's very important. Now, when it comes to intimacy, means caring deeply and creating safety in the relationship, security in the relationship. Intimacy is all, it's about allowing yourself to be vulnerable and feel loved, and knowing your partner well, through through to love them, you love them, you respect them, you treat them, you give them, and you take in return. So this is something very important. And if this is also missing in life, I'm telling you, that is also not a respect, that is also not treating each other in a good way. You both need to have that. Where is my romantic life? People, they hit each other, bang each other's head. And I'm telling you, this is something of value which you need to have in relationship. You show that respect. You can't have that intimacy, you can't have that romantic feelings with your partner. I'm telling you, you can build that. At least you have little bit of common sense of treating well, so each other. So this is also very important. This is values. This is very, very important. I've seen many people taking divorce only because the intimacy is not good. This is also there. Values are very important. Treating each other is very important. I'm telling you, sometimes people, they sacrifice in their life not to have this, because I'm not getting this from you. So much of love they have on you, and they change because of you, and it's killing them. It's killing you. It's killing everybody. Why do you want to live the life like this? Okay, so work out on things what can make you a full person, right? So work on this. This is very important. Now let's get into the communication. That is also one of the major values. Like, communication is more than exchanging data and stupid memes between our shiny metal boxes. I can spend my wife's text messages. I can send my wife's text messages to all, I can send it to all the day long, telling her I love her, I love her, I love her. I can keep sending her messages. Okay, but when it sit at the kitchen in the table, hold her hand and ask about, our day. How is your day been? How was your day all going on? See, this communication what you had, it is making you to be bothered about how things been with your life. You've been having this communication. Communication is not something what is in sambar, what did you put the vegetables, why did you put these vegetables, this vegetable I don't like. Are this vegetable I like, why did you not put? Do some kheer. Okay, why that sofa is not neat? Why this cloth is not folded? These all things. This is not the communication at home. I've seen people in family, they only talk like this at home. Arey, sometimes you say no, you're looking beautiful with this sari. This sari, you make them recall, this sari was purchased last year on your birthday, right? See, this kind of communication is making so nice. It feels so great. Hey, you still remember that? Wow. See, sometimes, you make reasons to laugh. Hey, you're looking so beautiful and you're looking so nice. You're looking sometimes funny, sitting on the couch because your dress is matching with that couch. You just laugh. You're looking so funny. Just make some communication which is very important, which is making this communication feel each other better, right? But when you sit at the kitchen table and you only talk about out of the box, which is not a between you and them, that is bad. Sometimes talk, no, how it feels for you. I made this cooking for you. How does it feel? Ask your husband, talk about this kind of communication. The way you've been asking, now that guy, what is going to treat you, how he's going to respond. He will definitely respond good, because the communication what you've been having, it's so powerful. You've been asking, you've been so worried about, about the taste, how do you feel this I made it with very special attention, I saw this somewhere in the YouTube, and I felt it, I will make this and I'll make you happy. So how do you feel this? Tell me, I'm excited to know, how do you feel? Tell me. See, this is communication which is making other person to get excited to see how you've been treating. You put your time to make me happy with a nice dish. Wow, man, this is beautiful. This communication makes lot of interest on each other. It feels good. It feels that I love her. It make you to feel being loved. Communication is about connecting. You stop having communication completely, I'm telling you, that will spoil the relationship completely. See, the communication is stopped, that means the completely, your relationship is completely gone. It's gone, 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 gone. Yeah. So if you don't fix it with the communication, it's gone. So it's showing empathy, being curious, and learning more. Simply, but valuing communication means you and your partner connect with each other in an intentional way. You understand what I'm saying? See, that is that important, that you value the person. You fight yesterday and you immediately, morning you get up and you forget everything and you start having communication. That's the beauty. You need to treat each other. Communication should never stop. There should be communication. You should respect. So, not having communication for months and 2 months, 3 months, I'm telling you, that will lead something very bad. So, never do that. Communication is that important. Just two people, not married, they are in love. They 3 months passed, they're still in love and they're very good. Everything gone good. They had very good dating. They went to movies. They went to picnics. They had together living and everything, all good. Okay, all of a sudden, something happened wrong, and you don't want to text them, and you don't want to respond them, or you don't want to call them, and you don't like talking to them, and completely communication is stopped. I'm telling you, that is a breakup for sure. If that continues for further, not having any communication, avoiding the calls, avoiding the call, messages, not responding, nothing. And when you do this, the communication is completely stopped. That means, that's gonna go more deep, completely spoil, completely ruin the relationship. So communication is that important. Once the communication stops, that means that's the end of the relationship. The longer period of time, the communication is stopped between husband and wife, the relationship is completely gone. It's rotten, gone. And to fix back again, it is very difficult. So never end the communication. You should have the communication, right? Now, the next thing comes, the value is flexibility. See, the flexibility is that important in, in relationship. So, just one moment, I'm getting a call, but I don't want to receive this call right now when I'm in session. I'll just text them. Yeah, yeah, it's all good. Yeah, thank you. So, okay, so flexibility, if there is one thing that will throw you a curveball, okay, it's life. Okay, you want to surround yourself with people who have rock solid character but can roll with the punches when faced with new information or challenges. Flexibility is saying four of my favorite words is I change my mind. When you and your partner values flexibility, you can work with unexpected circumstances. You show up when you are needed, when when even when, it's not convenient. That is important. See, flexibility is something, you're in a meeting, which is very important meeting, and your wife calls up. All of a sudden she says, could you please, please, please talk to me for 2 minutes? I'm missing you so much. Array, that is not regularly, no, that is not always happening, right? So all the meetings, it doesn't happen in that way, right? Take 2 minutes break, go out, speak, and come back. Over. Flexibility is very important in relationship. Sometimes do that. That is showing something importance for the opposite person. You're playing golf, very important, and you have last 10 minutes left out to finish the your happy hour. Okay, now your wife calls and says, your friend or someone calls you and they say, I need to have a conversation with you. I need to talk about something very important with you. You can say that, I have only last 10 minutes left for my golf, okay, where I need to hit this last shot. The happy hours is gonna finish in next 5 minutes. Can you give me 5 minutes? You can request this. If that situation, the call is talking about something excitement, something very important, something Very, very good. So you don't even talk about anything, just go. So that's a flexibility. You are flexible for your loved ones. You make yourself flexible of not getting affected by the presence, and you just touch base with your feelings with your husband or wife. You're flexible. So this flexibility is very important. Are you flexible? अरे खाने में थोड़ा द नमक बढ़ गया, okay, ज्यादा हो गया. Or are you flexible eating still? And when your wife eats that, अरे you didn't even complain me that the salt is little more in the food. That's a flexibility. That is again a respect. That is again a value. That did not happen all the time. Okay, all of a sudden today, salt is little bit more. Flexibility is that important. You have that flexibility. Don't shout at what are you doing? What is this dish? Why is like this? I told you that this. No, don't do that. Nobody is doing it wantedly. And even cooking also, no, that is very important. When you're cooking, don't think about something bad things. And when you have the bad thought, or when you have the bad thinking which is coming, stop cooking. Go sit for 5 minutes, calm down, and then go start cooking. Even cooking is a process, how your mental state is. That is how the cooking also get that positivity or negativity. People who eat, they also get that positivity or negativity. That important it is. Now you have to understand to have all these values. So this is something extra values which is just added inside. Okay, so flexibility is that important. How are you flexible with your spouse? How are you flexible with your relationship? That is important. Now the other value which comes to work ethic. See, work ethic also is one of the major value. If you and your spouse are a business partner, or you husband and wife, or maybe your business partners aren't on the same page around work ethic, eventually you are going to face two, what to say, the word is not coming from mouth, staggeringly, different realities that put your future at risk. That work ethic is that important. I hear about situations like this is all time when I talk to my husband or my wife, is always giving more importance about the work. Now that meeting is that important. Now let me give that space and not disturb him. Let that have that work ethic. Okay, so when you have something very important meeting, as you're a wife and husband is waiting for the lunch, are he has to understand, it's okay, yeah, you're in a meeting, go ahead, I will serve my food myself and I will eat. I will make sure, I'll serve myself and I'll sit, and it's okay if you're not sitting with me, I'll still eat without you. See, this is a respect and work ethic. This work ethic is very important, because that is bread and butter, and that is something where husband is doing for the family. So let me give that importance for him to have that space, but not all the time being a workaholic. A wife being a workaholic, not giving any time, not spending time, or husband being completely workaholic, not even giving time, not even spending time, that is not a good thing. But how you can change? Just work on it. It is possible. So work ethic is a respect, and work ethic is something with work you also maintain the relationship. At work you also give that, that kind of time, where you spend with your wife, or you just make that movement and come back to the work, come back to the meeting. But you made that moment to spend time, just a cup of tea you're just having together, having conversation, just asking, how is things going on, just checking it out, you see something difference in their hand or their face, what has happened, is there anything that I can do, just talk this, no, just have some conversation, or you can do something, do it. Importance of looking at the person and see what difference happened, this is also very important. How is showing that with the work ethic, that is important. So when you do this, automatically you get the respect and you get the space for your work, for your meetings, from the opposite person. So this work ethic is very important. So in a marriage, for example, spouses needs to be on the same page about how will work and who will stay home with the kids. So this all needs to be bring into the place, like you need to have a conversation on this. We are getting married, yeah. Now we both are, like husband and wife. Now who is going to job, who is going to work, and if there is a kids, who is going to take care, who is going to stay home. So these all conversations very important. No, when you don't have this conversation, both are working, and you are pregnant, and new baby is born, and you force your wife to stay at home, or your wife will say you to force to stay at home. Both are getting 1 lakh rupees plus of salary. Now these all things, like have a conversation. You might have some people to take care of things or whatever, that's fine, but you should have these conversations. This is very important, right? So this work ethic comes to these all things. Who is going to take care of the child care, share the child care duties, having two different visions and unset expectations is a train break, just waiting to happen, it doesn't happen, but waiting to happen. It's the same in business also. In business also, you expect something from your team to do, and you don't even give the training, and you expect them to do it, and they'll never do it because they don't have that skill. So work ethic is that important, so to serve the purpose. In that situation, what you are supposed to do to train them up, to bring them trainer, give them facility to train them up. So this work ethic is that important. You don't want to work with someone who doesn't share the same value of intentionality. You understand what is this? This is that important in relationship. This is one of the major value again. Now, let me talk about one of the last value, because it's already 8:15. So let us keep the session open for everybody, and everybody can come up to the speaker panel and we can have more conversation. So I have a lot more to talk about it. And one of the values, when I'm going to talk last one, after that, I have some more things to talk about, values versus beliefs. What's the difference? So these all things, I thought of talking, but because, whenever I take a session, there is a lot to talk, but the time is very less. So I start thinking about values and beliefs. What's the difference? So this is something very important, and it will be very interesting. And what happens if values change? See, this is again important. What happens if the values change? See, this is a very important thing where we can talk about it. So if I get time in between when someone having conversation, we can talk about it. So how to learn more about your values and others values. So these all things, it's a brainstorming. We can talk about having all this conversation, question answers, or maybe something, we can do. So the last value which I'm going to talk, it's loyalty. Loyalty said, another way, fidelity. Okay, yeah, it is called as fidelity also. It is another way we can be said. So means you up, up, uphold a commitment to another person or a shared vision of agreement. You're loyal to your spouse when you don't start a secret only fans account. You have some fans account, yeah. You're maintaining something big, people, seeing all your pictures and liking, commenting, and you're still entertaining them with all the comments and all the likes, and you're still posting, and you're doing this, and you don't even tell that. You do it, it's okay, that's fine, but you tell them. And if you get that same support, and that's great. But if you do not say, and all of a sudden your husband sees all these pictures you put on the Instagram, and you're getting a huge fan follows, okay, almost 50,000 follows, for all your videos, your reels, and everything, and you didn't even tell me. It's been 2 years and you got 50,000 followers, and you put all these pictures which I didn't even see you in this dress, and you put everything for the public, and you didn't even tell me. This is loyalty. I'm telling you, loyalty is so important. Shared vision is very important between each other. This is a value. So you are loyal to your spouse when you don't start secrets. You're not loyal to your spouse, when you're not saying any secrets. You are loyal to your family's financial future, when you don't secretly move funds out of the kids' college account, or the money which has been kept for your daughter's marriage or your son's marriage or your son's college or medical college fees, whatever, you secretly taking out the money and spending. That's not loyalty, right? It's a fuel gambling addiction. And don't get into that addiction, I'm telling you. You are loyal to your partner when you choose to listen to their wishes and desires about the holiday season, or rather than, doing what your parents or your old college friend want to expect from you, and you just do it, keeping it as a secret. That's not loyalty. So just have that loyalty in relationship. That is also a good value. So don't lose that, right? So you have your own world, so keep that world safe. Once that world has been poked and that is not been treated good by you, and that will disturb everything. That will spoil the environment. So relationship is that critical, that important. Today in major places, we see a lot of relationship issues only because these values are not met. Simple, period.